Today we are going to study band pass filters and band reject filters. Let's first consider the case of band pass filter. A band pass filter passes a particular band of frequencies and attenuates all other frequencies outside that band. So a band pass filter has a pass band between two cutoff frequencies FH and FL such that FH greater than FL. So when we consider the frequency response of the band pass filter, it can be like this. Here this FH is the higher cutoff frequency and FL is the lower cutoff frequency, and we can see this band pass filter passes the frequencies between FL and FH and it blocks all other frequencies. Okay, so this is the pass band and this one is the stop band of this band pass filter, and we will study about this frequency responses in detail later. Now basically there are two types of band pass filters. First one is wide band pass filter and the second one is narrow band pass filter. A band pass filter is said to be a wide band pass filter if its quality factor or figure of merit Q is less than 10, and if the quality factor Q is greater than 10, that band pass filter is said to be a narrow band pass filter. Hence this quality factor Q is a measure of selectivity. That means higher the value of Q, the more selective is the filter or narrower its bandwidth. As the selectivity of the filter increases, its bandwidth decreases. Okay, so as the Q value increases, the selectivity of the filter increases and the bandwidth of the filter decreases. So for a wide band pass filter, its quality factor is less than 10, so its bandwidth is large, and for narrow band pass filter, its quality factor is greater than 10 and its bandwidth is small or its bandwidth is narrow. Okay, now the relationship between the quality factor Q and the center frequency Fc and the 3 dB bandwidth is given by Q is equal to Fc divided by bandwidth. Okay, and this Fc is the center frequency and the bandwidth is given by Fh minus FL. Fh is the higher cutoff frequency and FL is the lower cutoff frequency. Okay, so the quality factor or figure of merit Q is equal to Fc divided by bandwidth. Fc is the center frequency and bandwidth is Fh minus FL. Now for a wide band pass filter, its center frequency Fc is equal to root of FH/FL. So for a wide band pass filter, that center frequency is root of FH/FL, and in the case of a narrow band pass filter, the output voltage peaks at the center frequency. That means when we consider a narrow band pass filter, its center frequency is the frequency at which the output voltage is at its maximum value. Let's now consider the case of the wide band pass filter and narrow band pass filter in detail. So first consider the case of a wide band pass filter. A wide band pass filter can be formed simply by cascading a high pass filter and a low pass filter. Then to obtain a plus or minus 20 dB per decade wide band pass filter, we need to cascade a first order high pass filter and a first order low pass filter. And to obtain plus or minus 40 dB per decade wide band pass filter, we need to cascade a second order high pass filter and a second order low pass filter. Now this circuit diagram is for a plus or minus 20 dB per decade wide band pass filter. So here a first order high pass filter and a first order low pass filter is used, and they are cascaded together or they are connected in series. And here we can see the input is applied to the first order high pass filter, and the output of the first order high pass filter is connected as the input to this first order low pass filter. Now when we consider the working of this circuit, we know for a first order high pass filter, if its cutoff frequency is FL, then it passes all the frequencies from FL to infinity, and it blocks the frequencies from 0 to FL. Okay, so from 0 to FL frequencies are blocked by using this high pass filter, and from FL to infinity frequencies are passed by this high pass filter, and hence this FL to infinity frequencies are the input to this first order low pass filter. Now when we consider the working of the low pass filter, if FH is the cutoff frequency, FH is the higher cutoff frequency of the first order low pass filter, we know the low pass filter passes the frequencies that comes before that higher cutoff frequency, and it blocks all the frequencies from FH to infinity. Okay, so this low pass filter will block or attenuates all the frequencies that comes after this FH frequency, and this high pass filter will block all the frequencies from 0 to FL frequency. Okay, hence the pass band of this circuit will be from FL to FH. Okay, and all other frequencies are attenuated or removed by this circuit. Now let's consider the frequency response of this wide band pass filter. So this is the frequency response of this wide band pass filter. So here we can see this one is the pass band, and this represents the stop band of this wide band pass filter. And here this first section actually represents the response of first order high pass filter. Okay, we can see this is the response of a first order high pass filter. This FL is the lower cutoff frequency of that high pass filter, and as we said earlier, this high pass filter passes the frequencies that comes after that FL frequency. So from FL to infinity, that frequencies are passed by this high pass filter. Okay, and 0 to FL frequencies are attenuated here. Okay, and since it is a first order high pass filter, here the roll off rate is plus 20 dB per decade. Now the FL to infinity frequencies are applied as input to the first order low pass filter, and this second section actually represents the response of that first order low pass filter. And as we said earlier, the first order low pass filter attenuates all the frequencies that comes after FH, so that FH to infinity frequencies are removed. Okay, so the pass band will be from FL to FH, and this 0 to FL frequencies and FH to infinity frequencies are attenuated. So this is one stop band and this is the other stop band. And here, since we are using a first order low pass filter, the roll off rate is minus 20 dB per decade. Okay, so this wide band pass filter is a plus or minus 20 dB per decade wide band pass filter. And if we want to obtain plus or minus 40 dB per decade wide band pass filter, then we need to use a second order high pass filter and a second order low pass filter. So when we use a second order high pass and low pass filters, here it will be plus 40 dB per decade, and here it will be minus 40 dB per decade. Okay, so depending upon the order of this high pass and low pass filters, the roll off rate changes. Okay, so similarly we can obtain higher order wide band pass filters. Okay, now when we consider this first order high pass filter, its lower cutoff frequency FL is 1 divided by 2 pi RC, and for this first order low pass filter, its higher cutoff frequency FH is 1 divided by 2 pi R dash C dash. Okay, so let's consider that equations. So this FL is 1 divided by 2 pi RC and FH is 1 divided by 2 pi R dash C dash, and the mode V out by V in equation for this wide bandpass filter is given by AFT into F divided by FL all divided by square root of 1 plus F divided by FL square into 1 plus F divided by FH square. This mode V out by V in equation can be obtained by multiplying the mode V out by V in equations for first order high pass filter and for first order low pass filter. We have already studied that the for the first order high pass filter, the mode V out by V in equation is that AF into F divided by FL divided by root of 1 plus F divided by FL square. Here the passband gain for the high pass filter is chosen as AF1. Okay, and for the first order low pass filter, the mode V out by V in equation is given by that AF2 divided by root of 1 plus F divided by FH square. This AF2 is the passband gain for the first order low pass filter. Now to obtain the mode V out by V in equation for the wide bandpass filter, we need to multiply these two equations. Okay, then when we multiply these two equations, its numerator will be AF1 into AF2 into F divided by FL. Okay, and that AF1 into AF2 is denoted as AFT, which is the total passband gain of this wide bandpass filter. So here the numerator will be AFT into F divided by FL. Then when we consider the denominator, we need to multiply these two. So in the denominator we will get root of this one into this one. Okay, so in the denominator we will get that square root of 1 plus F divided by FL square into 1 plus F divided by FH square. Okay, so simply by multiplying the mode V out by V in equations of first order high pass and first order low pass filter sections, we will get this mode V out by V in equation of this wide bandpass filter. Now let's consider the design of this wide bandpass filter. When we consider the design of this wide bandpass filter, we need to design this first order high pass filter and this first order low pass filter sections separately. This FL and FH values will be given, and we need to design this first order high pass filter for that given FL value, and we need to design this first order low pass filter for that given FH value. Okay, the design of this first order high pass and low pass filter sections are already discussed. For the design steps, you can go through the video classes for this first order high pass and low pass filters. The links for that video classes are mentioned in the description. And in designing, the important things that we need to consider here is that if we want a plus or minus 20 dB per decade wide bandpass filter, then here we need to use first order high pass and low pass filters. And if we want a plus or minus 40 dB per decade wide bandpass filter, then here we need to use a second order high pass filter, and here we need to use a second order low pass filter. Then we need to design that second order filters. Okay, and also in designing, the gain of these first order high pass and low pass filters should be chosen carefully. The total passband gain AFT is equal to AF1 into AF2, where AF1 is the passband gain of the first order high pass filter and AF2 is the passband gain of the first order low pass filter. So if the total passband gain is given as 4, then we need to choose AF1 as 2 and AF2 as 2, because this 2 into 2 is 4. Okay, so if that total passband gain is 4, then this AF1 into AF2 should be equal to 4. Okay, so when we design this wide bandpass filter and this AFT is given a particular value, then while we design that first order high pass filter and first order low pass filter separately, we need to choose these gains carefully like this. So for the design, for a given FL value, to design that high pass filter, we will assume a value for C, and then by using this equation we will calculate the value of R. Then for the design of that low pass filter, we will assume a value for C dash, and using this equation we will calculate the value for R dash. And if the total passband gain AFT is given, then we need to choose the gain for that first order high pass filter and first order low pass filter in such a way that the product of that gains is equal to that total passband gain. Then we need to design that first order high pass filter for this gain, and we need to design that first order low pass filter for this gain. Okay, and using this gain we will calculate the values for R1, RF and R1 dash and RF dash. The gain of this first order high pass filter is 1 plus RF by R1, and the gain for this first order low pass filter is 1 plus RF dash divided by R1 dash. And for the design of the gain, we will assume a value for R1 and we will calculate the value for RF here. And here also we will assume a value for R1 dash and we will calculate the value for RF dash. And the important thing that we need to consider here is that this first order high pass filter should be designed for that AF1 gain, and this first order low pass filter should be designed for that AF2 gain. And the important thing is that AF1 into AF2 should be equal to the total passband gain AFT. Let's now consider the case of a narrow bandpass filter. We know for a narrow bandpass filter, its quality factor Q is greater than 10. Okay, and since the quality factor Q is greater than 10, its selectivity is higher and its bandwidth is narrow. Okay, and this is the circuit diagram for the narrow bandpass filter, and here we can see, here we are using multiple feedbacks, hence this circuit is called a multiple feedback filter. Okay, and here this op-amp is used in the inverting mode. Okay, in all other filters that we studied, the op-amp was used in the non-inverting mode, and here in the narrow bandpass filter the op-amp is used in the inverting mode. Now let's consider the values of these components. For the simplicity of the design, we choose this C1 and C2 capacitors equal to C. Okay, then the equation for R1 is Q divided by 2 pi Fc into CAF, and R2 is Q divided by 2 pi Fc C into 2Q square minus AF, and the equation for R3 is Q divided by pi Fc into C, where this Q is the quality factor or figure of merit, and we have already studied that Q is given by Fc divided by bandwidth or Fc divided by Fh minus Fl, and Fc is the center frequency and Fc is given by root of Fh Fl. Okay, and this AF is the gain at the center frequency Fc. Okay, here the bandwidth is narrow and we can see we will get the maximum output voltage at the center frequency Fc, and AF is the gain at that center frequency Fc. And for this AF value there is a condition. AF, which is a gain at the center frequency Fc, should be equal to R3 divided by 2R1. Now this gain AF must satisfy the condition AF should be less than 2Q square. Now the advantage of this multiple feedback filter is that the center frequency Fc can be changed to a new center frequency Fc dash without changing its gain and bandwidth. And to change that Fc to new Fc dash value, we need to change the resistance R2 to a new value R2 dash, and that R2 dash is given by R2 dash is equal to R2 into Fc divided by Fc dash. Okay, so this Fc is the older center frequency, and if you want to change this Fc to a new center frequency Fc dash, then we need to change this resistance R2 to a new resistance value R2 dash, and that R2 dash is given by R2 into Fc divided by Fc dash whole square. Okay, so this R2 dash is the new resistance value for the Fc dash center frequency, and this Fc is the older center frequency, and this R2 is the resistance when the center frequency was Fc. Let's now consider the case of band reject filter. This band reject filter rejects a particular band of frequencies and it passes all other frequencies. Actually, this band reject filter is the opposite case of band pass filter. And this band reject filter is also called a band stop filter or band elimination filter, because this band reject filter is used to remove a particular band from a given band of frequencies. Okay, and as we said in the case of band pass filter, here also we have two types of band reject filters: wide band reject filter and a narrow band reject filter. And a band reject filter is said to be a wide band reject filter if its quality factor is less than 10, and it is said to be a narrow band reject filter if its quality factor is greater than 10. And this narrow band reject filter is also called a notch filter. Let's now look these wide and narrow band reject filters in detail. First, consider this wide band reject filter. This wide band reject filter is formed by using a low pass filter, a high pass filter and a summing amplifier. Here we can see the input is applied to both high pass filter and low pass filter. In the case of wide band pass filter, the input was applied to only high pass filter, and in the case of this wide band reject filter, the input is applied to both high pass filter and low pass filter. And here we can see that high pass and low pass filters are connected in parallel. In the case of wide band pass filter, we connected that high pass and low pass filters in series, but here we need to connect these two in parallel, and the output of the low pass and high pass filters are added together by using this summing amplifier section. Okay, now when we consider the frequency response of this wide band reject filter, this is the frequency response. Here we can see it rejects the frequencies between these two cutoff frequencies. Okay, and here FH value should be less than FL. Okay, in the case of band pass filter, that FH value is greater than FL, and in the case of band reject filter, this FH value should be less than FL, where this FH is the higher cutoff frequency of the low pass filter and this FL is the lower cutoff frequency of the high pass filter. Now when we consider this frequency response, we can see this first section actually represents the response of a low pass filter. Okay, and we know the low pass filter passes the frequencies that comes before this FH. Okay, and it blocks the frequencies that comes after this FH. Okay, and this section represents the frequency response of high pass filter. Okay, and a high pass filter passes the frequencies that comes after FL and it blocks the frequencies that comes before this FL. Okay, so when we combine the first order high pass and first order low pass filters together, we will get a response like this. Okay, so it rejects the frequencies between FH and FL. Okay, and this FC represents the center frequency of this wide band reject filter, and at this center frequency maximum attenuation is there. Okay, or at this FC the output voltage is minimum or the gain is minimum. Okay, so this is the reject band, and this one represents the pass band. Okay, so we can see this filter rejects the frequencies that comes between this FH and FL, and it passes all the frequencies that are outside this band. Okay, and when we consider this frequency response, this AF, which is the pass band gain of this wide band reject filter, it is same here and here. Okay, actually this is the pass band gain of the low pass filter, and this one is the pass band gain of the high pass filter. So here the pass band gain of the low pass filter and the high pass filter must be same, while in the case of band pass filter, the product of the gain of low pass filter and high pass filter is equal to that total pass band gain. But here the pass band gain of this low pass filter and the high pass filter must be equal. Okay, now if we need to improve this roll off rates, we need to use the higher order low pass and high pass filters. Here a first order high pass and low pass filters are used, so here the roll off rate will be plus or minus 20 dB per decade. Okay, now in this circuit, this section actually represents a summing amplifier, and here this summing amplifier section is not providing any additional gain. Okay, and here we can see this amplifier section is an inverting amplifier, and since this section is not providing any gain, this R4 resistance must be equal to R2, and also this R4 must be equal to R3, because this is an inverting amplifier, and for an inverting amplifier its gain is minus R4 by R2 and also minus R4 by R3. Okay, so when R4 is equal to R2, its gain will be 1, and also when R4 is equal to R3, its gain will be 1. Okay, so here the circuit is not providing any gain, and if we want to provide any additional gain, we need to choose these resistors according to that. Okay, and here to avoid the offset problem, in the non-inverting terminal that offset minimizing resistance is connected, and this offset minimizing resistance value is equal to the parallel value of these R2, R3 and R4. Now for the design of this high pass and low pass filter sections, we need to design these high pass and low pass filter sections separately for the given FL and FH values. And one thing we need to consider here is that the gain of this high pass filter should be equal to the gain of this low pass filter. Let's now consider the case of narrow band reject filter. This narrow band reject filter is also called a notch filter. The most commonly used notch filter is the 20 network, and this 20 network is shown in this figure, and this 20 network is a passive filter, and this 20 network is formed by two T networks. One T network is formed by using these two resistors and this capacitor, and the second T network is formed by using these two capacitors and this resistance, and here we will apply the input and here we will get the output. And when we consider this 20 network, this network rejects a particular frequency Fn given by 1 divided by 2 pi RC. Okay, so by using this 20 network we can reject this Fn frequency. But when we consider this 20 network, it has a relatively low figure of merit, or it has relatively low Q value, and the Q value of this filter can be increased significantly if it is used with a voltage follower circuit. Let's now consider that circuit. So here we can see this is our 20 network and it is used with this voltage follower circuit to improve that figure of merit or its Q value. Okay, the frequency response of this circuit is shown here. Here we can see this bandwidth is very narrow and actually this notch filter is used to remove this particular frequency Fn. For example, we can use this circuit to remove a 1 kilohertz frequency from a frequency band. Okay, if we design this Fn as 1 kilohertz, then we can remove that 1 kilohertz frequency from that frequency band. Okay, so this notch filter is used to remove a particular frequency, a particular single frequency from a frequency band. Okay, and that notch frequency Fn is given by 1 divided by 2 pi RC. Now to design this active notch filter for a specific notch out frequency Fn, choose the value of C as less than or equal to 1 microfarad and then calculate the required value of resistance R using this equation. And here this op-amp section is actually a voltage follower section, so there is no additional design for this section. We need to design this 20 network properly by using this equation. Okay, and this voltage follower is actually used to improve that figure of merit or Q value.